We have a beauty in a clean room and someone named Huck, and I ain't talking Huckleberry Finn. This week,
on top of the stack.
Welcome to Top of the Stack, our weekly comic review where we review our 3 favorite comics for the week of November 18th, 2015. We have some Vertigo, we have some Image, and we have some honorable mentions. So this week we're going to get started with The Beauty number 4 by Jeremy Hahn, Jason A. Hurley, and John Rauch. So why don't you tell us a little about that?
All right. Well, it basically picks up where we left off. We see the 2 detectives in a meeting with a lady trying to get the word out that there is a cure for beauty. And this lady gets sniped in the head. Is there any other way to get sniped?
Right when she decides to help them.
Yes.
She says, you know what, I'm going to help them. I'm going to make a call right now. Right as she gets, she like puts so-and-so on the phone. She's a Ghana.
Exactly. And she gets sniped. They all get attacked, get shot at, and we just see this man in a skull mask. And none of us have really any clue who he is until the end of the comic. We find out who he works for, who he is, and he's known as the Enforcer. And I'm just going to leave it at that. That's about all this issue was. Them getting attacked, trying to figure out a way to get out this cure. And so, yeah, that's it for The Beauty number 4.
All right, so what do you give this one?
I give this one a Michael Keaton.
I am giving it a Michael Keaton as well. Really like this story. Really like the art. Really like basically everything about it.
Yeah.
This issue, however, didn't have much in it. I think this is eventually going to be an arc I finish and then start picking every trade paperback up. Because I think it would be better to read as a trade paperback.
Yeah, I could see that.
So The Beauty number 4 by Jeremy Hahn, Jason A. Hurley, and John Rauch. Getting Michael Keaton from Geek'd Up. Which brings us to my pick this week, which was Clean Room number 2 by Gail Simone and John Davis Hunt.
Yes, sir.
We almost immediately hop in right where we were in issue 1, but there's a twist at the beginning. We see 2 detectives go into a murder scene with no blood, no fibers left behind. The guy is all tangled up. And on top of that, he has brand new socks on.
I know.
And he's pretty dirty otherwise. So it's very odd. Then we jump back into right where we left off, where our hero, Astrid, is with Ms. Mueller, the crazy bitch who controls this whole thing.
Yes.
And she wants to have an interview with her, but she doesn't want to do it until she brings up a few little jabs at her, and she goes, okay, you can have your interview. And she started having this crazy interview about her fiance and dying and
weird questions, weird things were said.
It was very weird and uncomfortable.
Yeah, a little bit.
She got uncomfortable. Yeah. I got uncomfortable. We were all just a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was just awkward.
But we get to see this monster thing again. Remember in the first issue?
Yes.
We see that monster at the beginning. We don't know what it is.
Yeah, and we still really don't know what it is.
Yeah, and now we see another monster.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it finally leads to her saying, okay, I'm going to take you to the clean room. Which is a spotless thing. They have to scrub in more than doctors do.
Yes.
And you see this man sitting there named Dwight. And she's basically like a therapist for him. And he ends up confessing what he's done. You know? It's really a look into this guy's sick, twisted mind.
Yeah, he's a little jacked up.
Apparently they have all these inmates in there for psychological reasons. This guy can't sleep. For reasons we find out of what this guy did.
Yeah.
And they let him go. And the twist comes at the end, which makes this comic so sweet.
I know.
Yeah.
How does she do the things that she does?
It's funny that they drink that tea, and Astrid is like, you put something in my tea. But if she did or didn't, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
I'm guessing not after the ending. I mean, the guy's talking about crazy white monkeys if you touch your wiener in any way, including going to the bathroom, and look what happens.
Yeah.
It's kind of strange. This comic is bizarre. The art really reminds me of a book called Lock and Key. Haven't read it in a while, but so I might be kind of wrong on that, but that's what it reminds. This feeling, and it's a more adult version of that. It's like this scary, weird funhouse of a clean room, and this art that's kind of cartoony, but really clean, and I like it a lot. What did you think about
the clean room.
the
I liked this one. I'm pretty much with you all the way through. Pretty interesting what happens to this guy at the end, and that whole just back and forth scenes that they had in the clean room was all just pretty crazy to wrap your mind around, and it gets you intrigued, like, is this lady like a god, or what is she? So I'm intrigued.
Is she from the future?
Yeah, like, we never know.
I don't know. That's what's, the art along with this weird story that's has me wondering what is going on.
It's weird to think that people actually, real people, like, sit at home and come up with these ideas for comics. If you think about it, it's weird, but it's awesome.
It is.
So
I am giving Clean Room number 2 a Christian Bale. I really liked it. It was a crazy opening, really good art that I loved looking at, and a really good ending that wrapped it all together.
Indeed.
Plus it has some weird adult themes that I always like.
Yep.
So I'm giving it a Christian Bale.
I'm with you there.
Christian Bale?
Christian Bale.
So Clean Room number 2 by Gail Simone and John Davis Hunt is getting a Christian Bale from Geek'd Up. Which leads us to our last review of the day. It's a new number 1 from Image Comics, and it is called Huck by Mark Miller, Raphael Albuquerque, and Dave McCaig.
Did you almost say Rafael Dos Anjos or something?
Yes, I did.
I knew it.
Not Rafael Dos Anjos, Raphael Albuquerque, a very good artist.
I could totally tell.
So this is a Image number 1 by the superstar Mark Miller,
yes.
who seems to have a seems to have a new comic every single month.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, this one is about a guy named Huck, and so far a girl named Diane.
Yes.
Huck was an orphan.
We find out.
He's a big dude. You see him at the beginning, jumping all over cars, doing all sorts of weird stuff. He finds this like necklace thing or something. You don't know what it is.
Yep.
Knock on the door. There it is, and he's looking through the bushes like,
I made her happy.
Yeah.
So he's basically this kid that was given up for to an orphanage, not really given up for adoption, and he lives in this town, and they call him special, whereas some newcomers may call him retarded or other words. And basically the town keeps this secret for him that he's so amazing. And he does a good deed every single day for people.
He take out the trash for the entire town. He bought everybody in the line behind him all their food.
Yeah.
On Friday, one of the things he's thinking about doing is going in to work for somebody and tell him he's got their shift, go home. Just a good guy.
He is a good guy. I wish I knew a guy like Huck.
Yeah. And the main question that this Diana girl has, is it Diana or
Diane? Yeah.
Is, if he's so special and has all these powers, why does he work at a gas station and why isn't he rich?
Pretty much.
And the grandma lady, or aunt, whoever it was, says because he thinks there's more important things, he just wants to see people happy. And that's basically what this issue is about. I mean, this comic is about, is this guy who wants to make people happy. We see a scene where he goes all the way to Africa somehow. Helps 200 schoolgirls from this militia, saves them all. And as they're leaving, the news is like, who got you out of there? Was it the special ops? And they said, we told him we can't tell. So they're keeping a secret.
I know. How crazy is that? 200 schoolgirls.
Last thing we see, almost, is her saying, Diane going, that's him. I told you, that's him. He does have those powers. He did that. How much money do you think we can get off of telling that secret?
Who was that girl she was with?
I think it was a guy. I think it was her boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
So that's what this whole series is going to be about. They give his identity away.
Diane does. What a bitch.
Yeah, what a bitch. And what is he going to do now that what is the world going to do now that they know he has these powers?
I feel bad for poor little Huck.
I do too. He's such a good guy.
Yeah.
But that's the roundabout what it's about.
Yeah.
What did you think about it? Art, story?
Art wasn't my favorite. Wasn't the worst. I like it to be a little bit more crisp and clear. I think this was a little, it was a little kind of sketchy, but it was okay. It doesn't make me hate the comic. The writing was good. I think I'm gonna give this one a Michael Keaton.
Really?
Yeah.
I really like the art, and I really like the story. This is a great number one. This is everything I want in number one. You get to the point. You wrap it up in a bow. You know everything you think you need to know about Huck. You have feelings for him. You want him to do good. And then they take it all away from him. And you just want to know more. So for me, this one is getting the coveted Ben Affleck.
Oh, wow.
Two very different opinions on the same issue. So I guess... we're just going to have to go with it. Huck number one by Mark Miller and Raphael Albuquerque. And Dave McCaig is getting a Michael Keaton and a Ben Affleck from Geek'd Up. That is it for our reviews this week. We do have a few honorable mentions. The first being Savior number 8 by Todd McFarlane, Brian Hogwin, and Clayton Crane. This was the finale.
Yes.
I personally, the reason it's not on there is because I thought it was a very lackluster ending to this.
Yeah.
You don't learn anything.
Yep.
For him to come out and say this is an 8-thing miniseries out of nowhere, you think it'd be wrapped up, and it's not. And he says if you really want more, go on, send your letters. I'm not going to do it. I feel like the story should have
already gotten that. Yeah.
I would have loved more. I thought this was an ongoing series, but I'm not going to go out of my way to do this. It ended poorly, and that's that. But it is worth a read to kind of see where it's going. And if you really do like it, send in those letters at the back page of the issue. Then we got Birthright number 11 by Joshua Williamson, Andre Bresson, and Adriana Lucas. This one, you get more in Terranos.
Yes.
The big fantasy world, which I really liked.
We learned more about the Nevermind. Maybe. Did we?
Yeah, I don't know. Was this a new thing? Was it an old thing?
We don't know.
Has it attached to somebody else? Good issue. Definitely pick it up if you're reading that series. And last, Pretty Deadly number 6 by Kelly Sue DeConnick, Emma Rios, and Jordi Belair. This is a story that probably a year ago ended, and the second arc is finally coming. So if you have read the first one, you definitely want to pick this up. It is really good. So that is it for the honorable mentions. What did you pick up? What did you think of our reviews? Were they good? Were they bad? Do you agree with them? Should Huck have gotten a Michael Keaton, or should it have gotten a Ben Affleck? Or in between? Let us know in the comments below. When you give us those thumbs up and subscribe, where can they find us?
They can find us on Vine, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all those lovely platforms.
Yes, and we reply to each and every one of you, so get that conversation going. And until next time,
stay geeked up.
And always hug Xenomorph.
Always.